Hi, welcome to the workshop. Trej here. Now, I've got a Halloween party coming up this weekend. I say I've got a Halloween party coming up this weekend. I'm hosting a Halloween party this weekend. We have one every single year. However, as usual, I've left it till the last minute and I haven't done a thing for a costume. So I'm trying to figure out something that I can do, and I've decided on a Borg. I'm going to keep it simple because I've only got a couple of days to do this in, and believe it or not, this is not my actual full-time job. I do have a day job, and then I just do this sort of thing on the evening. So yeah, when I say I've got a couple of days, what I mean is I've got a couple of evenings to do this. That's after I've been at work all day, and I've got family responsibilities and stuff on the night time as well. So yeah, time is scarce. Sparse, similar words, I'm not sure. Okay, so I need to figure out a way of doing this very quickly, very simply. So basically, for the suit, I'm not too bothered about. I'm just going to wear black and get some like little pipes or something like that. I've got a few little pipes knocking about from various bits of scrap and things. But any bits of tubing can do. You get little bits of tubing from just like older aquariums and things like that. You can get the tubes that go for the little pumps and things. You find quite often get broken ones on eBay, so you can get a good source of those all over the place. I've sort of collected up a couple of things like that over the years. But I was thinking about what I could wear that's black, and I've got a suit from K2SO from the Rogue One, the droid. I got a fancy dress costume a long time ago now for something, and anyway, that came with a full black bodysuit that was a bit robotic, so I'm going to use that. But the main thing is for the mask. So for the suit, just something a bit black, a couple of tubes, done. For the mask though, I need something that is a headpiece, something that covers up like a skull cap and covers maybe half my face, and then I can get a few different doohickeys. I don't know, like for example, I don't know, figure out as I go. But yeah, I just need a couple of old lenses or something like that. Oh, actually, I've got this. Oh, you won't be able to see what that is from there. It is, when I get this out, it's one of the things that jewelers use to look at things. I got it to, I don't know, in my head I thought, oh, I'll be able to use this when I'm doing modelling and painting and things like that. I've never used it, never once. So I've got that knocking about. So yeah, I may incorporate that into the suit. It could be some kind of bionic eye. But for the skull cap, what I'm going to use is empty bottles. So I've been collecting these from work because I don't actually drink milk. I'm on a dairy-free diet. So I've collected up these from work, just milk bottles. That's all it is. And what is this is a great source of plastic. When you heat this up, it becomes very soft, very malleable. So you can bend it around things, and then when it cools down, it holds that shape. So what I'm going to use is I've got this glass skull. I was going to say metal skull then. That's not metal skull, is it? No, it's glass. So I've got this glass skull, and what I can do is then get the plastic bottles, strip down the plastic into smaller parts, strip it down, cut it down into smaller parts, and then place it on here, heat it up, and then it will hold that shape. That is not the same size as my head, but it's close enough. Being slightly smaller than my head, it will actually make the dome that I'm going to make, it will make it actually cling to my head slightly, because I'll be squeezing this giant noggin into something that size. So yeah, I'm going to make a start on that, and it's Wednesday now, the party's on Saturday, and yeah, I haven't done a thing as yet, and as I said, I've got a day job to do. It'll be fine, So yeah, best get cracking. day 2. Okay, first things first. That's for the water. The little jar that I was using, it's a bit difficult to get the sponge in for the water, so I just use that for my brushes normally when I'm painting. So I thought, right, get a bowl, and then that way that's going to be a lot easier to get the water onto the sponge. Now this is the K2SO bodysuit that I was talking about. As you can see, it's got some padding on, gives it a bit of texture, makes it look that little bit robotic, but also it's free moving. The only problem I've got with it is it is a full bodysuit. So this is for a Halloween party. So when I have a drink and I then like, oh, I've had a drink, I need to go pee, I'm gonna have to take the top off completely in order to go for a wee. I'm gonna have to think about that. Right now, however, still got to, it's on the floor over here, continue with the headpiece. Right. Okay, let's go on with it. Here I have a few parts before I get going in order to show just a few random wires. So here's some old headphones. Here's an old computer mouse that no longer works, despite it looking like it's new because of that. That is actually an old one that doesn't work anymore. Here's a bit of cabling that it was just left behind when some engineer came to do some IT work in the office or something. I don't know, I got it out of a bin somewhere at some point. Then here we have various pipes. So these are from, I believe, either part of a pond or aquarium kit, or from an old engine parts or machine parts. Oh, that's a wire. But these are obviously going to be good for making shapes. And oh, my light keeps going out. That's really annoying. Yeah, more pipes and things. They're just interesting shapes, so I'm going to be using those to add to the helmet, because of course Borg have lots of cool pipes and things. However, first of all, I got some more milk bottles. So I've already used three milk bottles so far, and here are another 3 milk bottles. So that would be a total of 6 milk bottles, and yeah, well, still going strong, still needing more. I have no idea how many I'm going to end up using. I have got a stash of these though, so I was saving them up for quite a while. A little bit concerned about this one because it looks like it's got manky old milk inside, but we'll see how we go. Okay, let's get cracking. Hello, it's me again. Okay, if I take my glasses off, and you can see that's roughly where I am at the moment. This is, right, let me just move the camera a bit so I can see what I'm actually doing. Right, here you can see it just needs filling in all around here, and also originally I didn't really plan it, but I was thinking where the bottle hole top was, that would actually make a nice little starter for the eye. But now I'm actually thinking, so I've got a mirror here that I'm looking at, yeah, that's just, it's not going to line up. There's no way I can do it on the skull. I need to actually do it on my head if I was going to do it that way. So I think what I'm going to do is just keep on filling it in and filling it in until I've got something that's more fully formed for my head, and then actually cut out what I don't need. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now with the bottles. The other 2 bottles, I just used 1 bottle that time, which is not too bad. So yeah, as you can see, it's actually quite solid once you get a couple of them together. It's turned out pretty much as I was expecting. It would have been nice if that worked out quite to line up perfectly. Also, I forgot to mention this light bulb. I figured that looks like, if I take out the inside, that looks like it could be a nice shape for some kind of Borg ocular implant. I think that could look quite cool, but we'll just have to see how it works out. Also, I've got to remember, don't do these videos after I've just eaten a meal. When I watch them back a few times, I'm like, it's because I'm so bloated. You don't need to know about that though. Okay, let's get on with this. Hello again. Right, day 3. I say day, it's day now. The last couple of days have been nights, just doing a couple of hours basically. Just been down to the garage to get a couple more bits and bobs. I've been looking through a couple of bits boxes. Here I have, okay, here is a light fitting. A very old light fitting, but I thought that might be cool to put on the hand or arm as some kind of like Borgy device, so keep that to one side. A couple of other bits I've got. Okay, squeezy bottles. Cool thing about those is for these bits, the innards of these pump bottles, these can be useful for quite a few things, so I'm going to keep those to one side. I might be able to use those for something. Here we have some old eye drops, but this part here could possibly go with that. You know, make some kind of thing like that. Or it might be something for the side of the head or something, who knows. It just looks like an interesting shape. Here is a sweetener dispenser. So this sweetener dispenser, but if you look at the end there, I thought that might again be some kind of cool thing. So you can have a pointy thing on one side and, you know, port, I don't know. You know, looks like maybe some wires could possibly go in there. So yeah, anyway, that's what I was just going down there for. Yeah, that's about it. Also, found these, the gloves. This is for the K2SO costume. These are the gloves that came with it. I say gloves because it's actually just on the inside, it's just a bit of elastic band like that, and then yeah, it's just on the outside it has a bit of a glove pattern. But that could be cool for potentially mounting something like this onto the back of the hand, so you end up with something like that, and then that just sort of holds it in place. That's one idea. Another idea I've got, I think I've got an old watch somewhere, so I was thinking the old watch strap can be used to hold something like that stuck onto an old watch strap. Probably going to be on this hand though. So yeah, that's where I am now. Okay. Also, by the way, if you're watching this, then you probably know who this guy is. Just the number of people who say, "Hey, cool transformer." I mean, come on, get a grip. Right, let's get to work. This is where I am at the moment then. What I'm wanting to do is, I don't want this to be a right angle, so I want to fill in just something going across here slightly, and same again on this side. I don't want that to be like that, so I want to fill that part in. Other than that, I think maybe bring that down a bit further at the bottom, but otherwise I'm all good. Now, I did try this on and it is very, very tight, and as I said, it's quite hard. I haven't actually tried this before as a mask, so I wasn't sure just how flexible it would be, but it is actually quite firm, so I want to widen it slightly, as well as fill in those gaps, and round the back, get that filled in. Then I can maybe start greeblying this up a bit. I really also don't know how well the paint is going to stick to this. Because this has been melted with the heat and so on, it's not like it's going to be normal plastic. I'm hopeful that paint will actually stick to it. If not, well, I'm going to have a white Borg. It's as simple as that. I'm pretty happy with the fit. It's not perfect. It never would be perfect. Well, it could be with a bit more time. Oh, that bit's sticking out a bit though. Okay, I'll get that bit stuck down. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the fit. I don't have time to keep perfecting it. This is just a quick and dirty fancy dress costume for a party. You know, it's not for film prop or anything, so that's fine. I've got to stop being a perfectionist in my head, because in my head I want it to be perfectly smooth and round and all the rest of it. This is just for a fancy dress party. Got to keep reminding myself of that. Okay, I think it's time to greebly this thing up. What I'm going to do is the bottle tops. I reckon that if you put those on and then use the same heat treatment, it will then make those shrivel up a bit, but it could make for a good point of purchase for where you want a bit of wire or tube to go in. So I'm going to stick a couple of these on now and try and smooth it round a bit, but I think I'm pretty much done with the actual skull cap now. We've only one day and an hour. I've got about 25 hours left. Yeah, about 25 hours, well, less. Oh my god. think that's about finished because I'm running out of time tonight and I need to paint it and let the paint dry overnight. So last of all then, I have this, which is just an earring, but it's an earring with a flashing light. So I was trying to figure out the best place to put it. I don't know if like that might be kind of cool, or that might be kind of cool. Next to the eye stalky thing, or just sort of jammed in there. I think that might be the one actually. So what I'm thinking is that's going to be kind of tricky. Now what the hell, let's just get that stuck in there. Okay, that'll do. So once that's dried, I'm going to go and spray paint it black, and that'll be pretty much done for this. I'll probably just do a couple of bits tomorrow for the glove. If I'm going to do that or not, I don't know yet. But yeah, I think that is the head plate mask. I'm going to call it a mask. That's the mask done, I reckon. Yeah, because I can't be bothered doing any more. Right, good. Okay, stop talking. Good morning. Okay, so this is day 4? Yes, 4. I keep saying day, it's not day. That makes it sound like I've spent all day every day making this thing, when I haven't. I've just spent a couple of hours each night over the last 3 nights, and then today. So today's the day of the party, yay! So today might be the day of the party, however, because I don't have work today, last night I did have a little bit of a drink and I'm feeling a little bit rough today, so bear with me. I haven't actually been down to have a look at it yet, so I've got to stop saying so. That's something that annoys me, so I'm sure it annoys you, and I've just said it again. I apologise. I'm going to go down and I'm going to get it now, and then we'll see what this Borg mask actually looks like, because I have no idea if the paint will stick to the milk bottles. So that is something, I said it again, that is something I'm very conscious of, that I might come back and have a Borg helmet with the mask. Is it a helmet? Is it a mask? I honestly don't know what to call it. But whatever you want to call it, I'm very conscious of the fact that it may have cracked paint peeling off of it, the paint may not stick whatsoever, and I'm going to have to figure out something to do. Something that I've thought about overnight though is this K2SO outfit, which by the way, it's black because I painted it black. I was going to use it, the reason I got this was for a different filming project, so I was going to do like a robot, but it was very just a cheap, quick thing where you're only going to glimpse the robot, so I didn't want to go overboard. And I got this K2SO outfit. It had pattern on, which you can just about see in some places, but I didn't want the pattern in. I just wanted something to give the idea of the texture, so I painted it black. Then that film didn't actually happen. It was part of a Doctor Who fan film, in fact. That one fell through, but I still had the costume. And that's why it's all black anyway. I painted it black. What I'm saying, anyway, going back to what I was going to say is, you do remember I mentioned that I'm not going to be able to pee in this, and I really can't be bothered taking it off every time I need to go to the loo, especially as the night goes on and you have a few more drinks and then you go in every 5 minutes. I think what I'm going to do is actually just cut this off at the bottom and then just wear normal trousers. I may actually pull these up over the trousers. That's an idea. Maybe safety pin them on the outside with just a pair of normal trousers, and that way I can undo the trousers to get to the loo. A bit too much information about the toilet, I know. I'm going to go and get the mask now. Let's see how that's turned out. Just 1 second. Right. It looks alright. Yeah, the paint seems to have stuck on. Let me take it off of this. That's just what I put it on, just to paint it. But that is looking okay. I'm going to take off the masking. I covered up just a couple of parts that I didn't want to actually have the paint on, like that bit, and up here. Oh, get it off. and then there's a bit here as well. Oh, there it goes, came straight off. You can see that. Well, I'll try it on then, shall I? Yeah. So, how does that look? I think that looks okay. As I say, it's just a quick and dirty fancy dress. You know, it's not a filming prop. If I had more time to spend on it, it could have looked a lot better, but I'm quite happy with how this has turned out. Still not finished, of course. Need to do a bit more work to it. But just as a base coat, I'm quite happy with how that's looking so far. Okay, going to do a few more finishing touches to this, and then I think I'm good to go. Oh, one last thing on the costume. I've got these gloves as well, where it's just fingerless gloves with an underglove. These undergloves are actually for, you know, when posh people go skiing, and you get the undergloves to go underneath your normal gloves, and then it's just some fingerless leather gloves over the top, and that just adds a little bit of texture, so it just makes it a little bit more interesting. Now, none of this is going to stand up to scrutiny, is the point when I keep saying it's a cheap and dirty fancy dress costume. None of this will stand up to scrutiny, but just a quick glimpse in dark lights when people are having drinks and we're all having a boogie. I'm not going to boogie, but when people are dancing, having fun, having a joke and a laugh, you know, that's going to be good. It's going to work. It's fine. It's exactly what you need for a fancy dress costume for Halloween. Not finished yet though, so yeah, I will get cracking with these finishing touches. Okay, stop talking, drink coffee, that's more important. Okay, let's go. Okay, I think that's about as much as I can do now. because it is 3:15 and people are turning up around about 6 o'clock. So I need to go and get a shower and get something to eat and all the rest before people start turning up. Yeah, if I'd have had longer, then I could have done something much nicer, but I think it's okay as it is. Yeah, quite actually happy with it. Okay, I'm waffling now and I really do need to go and get ready. I need to do a gallery, some pictures. Oh, I don't have time to do that now. Okay, hopefully that's going to survive. Please survive the night, and then I can take some pictures later. Otherwise, you just have to make do with what you've seen so far. So you may or may not be seeing a gallery now, but I've got to go. Alright, see ya. That was one of those fake things that we do when we're filming, where we pretend to leave when actually we're not leaving at all. Yeah, so, okay. I'm going to go now though. Right, bye. Morning. So, it's the day after the party. That went down really well actually. The costume, that is. Yeah, it worked better than I thought. I've got to be honest, when I test fitted it, it did actually feel a bit tight, but when I was actually wearing it at the party and it had been on for a little while, I don't know if it actually started like heating up slightly and became slightly, ever so slightly malleable, but yeah, it seemed to fit snugger and snugger the more I wore it, so that's good to know. I wouldn't recommend it for long term if you're going to like an all day cosplay, especially out during the daytime with the sun, because it does get warm. It gets really warm, but other than that, yeah, it's great. I was really pleased with it, and other people seemed pretty impressed with it. A couple of people thought it was something I bought, so you know, you can't get a better compliment than that really. It did get knocked on the floor at one point because, as I say, sweaty head, I put it on the side, then someone else knocked it off, but that's fine. I lost the flashy doofer, however I have got another one, because it's just these flashing earrings. That's all I use for the flashing doofers, but yeah, the earring disappeared, so luckily I've got another one, so if I do want to, I mean, that's the battery pack is like glued in there, so when the battery ran out, which it did run out, that was, yeah, that needed replacing anyway, so I'm going to have to rip that out and put a new battery in anyway if I want to use it again, because that's never going to flash unless I do that. Obviously, you know how batteries work. But yeah, that's good. So I will now get some pictures, and I'll see if I can actually fix the LED. So I'll get some pictures, we'll have a little gallery, and we're all good.